Hello everyone, how are you? Hope that you are very nice, so great today. God bless you all first. My name is Edwin Alban and this is an integral pedagogical practice course I'm taking. So this is the task number 2. Well, the task say that we must choose 2 references and just choose one. If you want to expose in the camera, you can do it. If you want to make a summary writing, you can do it. In this time, I'm gonna do a video summary with the topic I'm gonna try. Well, the topic is about some common challenges that English teacher has in the classes in Colombia, right? Especially with in the institutional context, like high school, schools, high schools, garden, pre-kindergarten, all these educational contexts. Well, also this topic also try a principal matter, which is the reading comprehension context, right? The reading comprehension context is the principal obstacle that most common teachers have in their classes, because it's a kind of a skill that most children, adolescent, kids uh, don't have like a don't get a, like an habit in their life, because it's so boring, it's so stressful. Maybe they don't like to read because they have other preferences like listening, many other kind of situation or cases that we can find in a diverse world of interest. Well, the second thing that talk about the first guideline or the first challenge is that uh, teachers in Colombia, most of the teachers, not all teachers, I cannot generalize because all teachers don't do that, right? But most of them are being implementing traditional pedagogical practices, traditional resources like physical books, exposing, make children exposing in front of the class while they are maybe reading, right? Or without reading a book, or whatever could it be, or have physical papers or physical papers to make a quiz. That's so boring. Nowadays most of the time, nowadays we are not using it as well. We are not using papers. For example, me, the way I learn English is to use cell phone, tablets, computer. Right? When I have to read a book, so I just download a book on the Playbook or other, for example, Edwin. So I download this book and I practice reading comprehension in English by doing that, and also Spanish. So we as teachers must consider technology as a way of growthness in the class. If we want to, especially if we want children to learn another language like English, right? Then we have how we as teacher must introduce little by little and use our mind or intelligence to combine all methodologies, task-based learning, translate grammar approach, or maybe the content language integrated learning, that is based on learning English through context, through matter. Well, other thing is that I mentioned the reference. It said that we students in Colombia, most of them, one from 10 or 1 to 10, 1 from 10, 1 of 10 students just know how to understand our basic reading comprehension based on B1 level. That's uh, mm, that's so a problematic statistics points that shows this statistic, right? Because 1 of 10 students just know how to read at the level they have to be, because based on European approach, metrics European metrics say that at the end of the this high school process, students must have a B1 level based on European metrics. But most of them, I cannot generalize, but most students, most of the students don't know or go or desert from the high schools, without knowing anything about English, or they are graduated without knowing the basic grammar or the basic reading comprehension, the basic level of English, like is B1. B1 for me is a basic level English. It's a basic intermediate, but if we are here in B2 or C1, we must know that B1 is a basic language English. You must have, you as students must have basic words, vocabulary as well. But the Colombian context, in Colombia context, we as teachers we are not seeing, or we are not seeing the reality as we are doing our practices in the schools. Well, other thing is, then by knowing that we as teachers must use the metrics, European metrics, and correlate it with the strategies, technological strategies, modern strategies, combining not only not only implementing traditional strategies, but also combining with the new approaches we have discovered right now. And also, then the third one is, for example, how we can, as teacher, guide students in a certain way, in a more specific or a more essential way, but without the helping of the fathers or the parents, we cannot go up to the high level of English without that help. Because if we don't use this support, this important essential support, like for example a father that get an habit, or construct or build an habit with their children about reading English, or having the sense to read English, basic things like reading a story, reading history about the country they are living. For example, here in Colombia, no, I want a student, I want that the parent of the children, or the kid, I want him or her to get to make the children, or to get the kid to their room, in order to practice reading, to count them about a basic story, or an intermediate story that they can understand little by little, or explaining word by word, or playing with them, making games to their children right away. So the idea is that we the idea is that parents, not only parents, must not only teachers must guide students, but also parents as well. And how students at early ages can build an habit to construct their interest to learn or to have the interest of practice reading comprehension in English. But firstly, we as our parents and teachers must know that we have to use the correct or the appropriate strategies in order to not make them to get bored or tired while they are learning English. Because if we get the children to get tired while they are reading, so it's so terrible for us, and we will not see the results we want, and we will lose something so valuable, that is the interest and motivation in children. That's the way they can move to learn English and practice reading now as well. So it is all it is all I want to say. I think maybe I forget something. Maybe I want to mention something more. Wait. Yes, the final one is to creating in classroom a good environment while they are practicing reading comprehension. Because if you don't create that environment with the specific levels at the specific level they are, if they are in a low level, choose basic topics and create an environment, like for example a colorful environment, an environment that show pictures on the walls or a stick picture on the wall, and put music, not only by reading but also putting them in some games, or putting them some games that they can enjoy itself, listening podcasts. Not only focuses on reading. Reading is important in this article, in this reference, but we must combine all the skills to make a balance. Not only reading. They will get bored. They need to play games. They need to be active in the class. They need to maybe make some abstract games, like reasoning games, and that's all. So it's all I wanna say. I think it's 13 minutes, but all I wanna say, thank you for all to have been listening to this video, and I hope that you can make some comments below. Thank you so much.